and that caused the Ragnarok and the Great Planar War. If
Yes.
we go super far into the future,
Have an expansion. The expansion will have a contraction. We'll go through a cycle. Right?
yeah.
Everything is cyclic. Otherwise, why would it? Like, it'd be the first time something happened. Therefore, it should have happened in the past. Unless there's something unique about the current time.
Yeah, you guys were at the cusp of an age, which means that it's now a new age.
That cool. I like the crusher.
Because the new gods were still around when the old gods were around. Like, the old gods were dying off, and new gods were rising. And it could be the reverse when we go to the new age.
Yeah.
The old gods are just...
Same thoughts. And the Dartanom.
Yeah, when do they wake up? Who knows?
Yep.
Ghost Paladin and Saint Thos?
Ah, those powerful guys. You will whoop that demon.
The five-faced god is one of the nameless gods.
Yep.
Yeah, the five-faced god is one of the five faces being separate. Maybe they separated the five different gods of humanity or something.
We need a name for tonight's game.
A new beginning.
This is the end?
Purity.
Purity's good, yeah.
This is the end.
Tune in next time. No.
Nice, Frozen.
Oh.
Thanks.
What's the what's the name of a comet's tail? There's a name for it.
Healy?
No, Halley's comet is a thing.
A nucleus, coma, and tail.
Tail. It's called tail. I thought there was I'm pretty certain there was a fancier word for the tail. Could be available to
Exit the dungeon.
Exit the dungeon, yeah.
Exit the dungeon is actually pretty good.
Pretty good, I like that.
I kind of like exit the dungeon.
That's what I'm doing. Who got that one? Exit the dungeon. Exit the
randomly.
dungeon.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Some sort of
Your point.
exit the dungeon.
Exit the dungeon. Okay, so what's next?
Well-
Drinking potions before they blow up the sewers.
I like how this campaign spawned a bunch of like other ideas. Like we could take half a dozen threads and tug on them for some future campaign. But
At some point, I'm going to need a protein bar and a glass of water before bed. But
I do need a bio break. So just if you guys want to just keep on chatting with the stream,
Yeah.
I will run.
So,
I've been
so
having
what's
liquids
next?
for dinner.
We've got options of we can go back to Dread and Circus. I think that was the original plan.
I'd like to finish something before starting a bunch of other things. I want to finish.
Well, everything we're going, all our options are things we go back to. So really,
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to finish the things that we like circus. I'd like to finish the circus.
yeah, I'm okay with that. That's Circus again was supposed to be a cleanser, just like
Circus was supposed to be a palate cleanser. It was supposed to be something that we tried out for a few months.
and it
2
just
years
went on and on because it's kind of it's kind of three campaigns in one almost. It's just they interconnect.
I highly recommend you come for a few sessions of the Grimstone Chronicles.
Yeah, it's
Just,
cool.
just to ease your brain back into the first ed Pathfinder.
I built those adventures. Always been a bad man.
I will try. It's just I know you guys play that when I'm working. So
Well, are you like not working for now?
well, like till Friday, but like this Saturday I won't be able to play. So you guys will be playing Grimstone. I'm assuming.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming we're going to need more than Marty's going to need more than a day to build up momentum.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
assuming
totally.
whenever we play this week, he'll be playing at least one session of Grimstone.
Yeah, like
with us.
I'm cool with like if Marty needs a week to get things in order. I'm like, yeah, I'll put together a pop-in character for the game and just join you guys for a bit.
Yeah. So I think that's something that's rather like I think that's going to I think probably what's going to happen this week.
I have to get Marty to send me the share the file with me. That's all.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, there was a thing on that. Oh, yeah, Frozen. No. Yeah, there's a whole it takes time to do a thing. Setting up a game, even if it's just picking up Dread and Circus. I couldn't pick up Dread and Circus.
No.
In a week, in a week I could pick up. As a player, I could pick it up.
Yeah, and that's just covering what my own characters can do. Because I've got
Characters coming out of ass.
Yeah, there's so many 5, 6 characters.
Yeah, it's not possible.
And they're 13th level Gestalt.
So we're decided to go back to Legends, Marty.
So what we were saying is, I think it was the topic was around going back to Dread and Circus.
Yep.
We don't think we're probably going to play a little bit of Grimstone Chronicles before we get there.
Yep.
To warm us up to the system, but also getting Mark won't be able to play on Saturday next week, so it'll be at least 2 weeks before we would have a full session.
I need to prepare.
And this was the exact statement we're saying is it takes some time to prepare. We're the Kings shouting Demon Watch. I'm cool with Demon Watch too. The concerns with going back to Circus currently is just there's a lot of stuff, just a lot. It's much stuff. So building momentum will take a little bit of effort.
Whatever you want to go to, if you want to.
I want to finish. I want to
to
finish Dread and Circus before we go back to Legends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, no, sorry. Legends wasn't on the table. It's just being there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd like to do Circus and then maybe Demon Watch or I don't know. Circus and then decide. But I think Circus.
Yes, Fox. Our Ludus was about to be blown up just before
we looked in the basement, and in the basement there was people exploding our Ludus. In the sewers.
Peril before
and then we switched to second.
Yeah.
What
do you do?
We went to submarine.
I will try to be ready in 2 weeks, but it might be longer than that.
Yep.
No, it'll be 2 Saturdays before I can play again, so you got time.
Oh. Not this Saturday, not next Saturday, the 9th?
Yeah.
That's 3 weeks. I should be ready to...
So it sounds like Grimstone Chronicles for a month.
Yep.
So Mark needs a Grimstone Chronicles character.
If he's around.
You got to share the file with me, though. That's all.
Okay.
The Reavers.
Yep.
We'll play fairies and stuff. I'm playing a fawn.
Yeah, I know. You're playing fairies and construct. It's like, could you?
Hey, there's a wannabe half dragon in there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a lot of fun. I'm having fun with that one because I'm not necessarily always the DM. It's good to play. But yeah. Feel free to create a character, Mark. You're fuck. D&D all the days, all the things. Did you guys have fun with this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yep. Are you
Yeah,
guys
I
okay
really
with
like-
the ending for the guys? I know this is something I should probably ask you guys after, or not on stream.
Without an audience, is that what you're saying?
I liked what was done with all my guys.
Okay. Were you surprised by LE?
Something was gonna have to happen for him. I didn't know what, and I liked it.
I'm going to say that some of the stuff that you kind of force it at some level, Ahmed. Just I'm going to say because you're like, all right, here's what I have to do with Ali to get him ready for combat because he's going in combat. It's like, I don't know.
The only reason I'm thinking that is because the only useful feat was Ray dead after 2 rounds of being dead. It's like, all right, maybe I'll throw him in there so he can help out if someone dies. And that was
Yeah, so because your characters have been on this like for hundreds of years, you've been dying and sending souls and being around souls. Your characters kind of were becoming proto deities almost on their own. So Bone Crusher dying, there are all sorts of deity stories where the deity died and then came back. And if he comes back, he'll have a freaking race of bear people that will be worshiping him. So like Bone Crusher's story is not done just because he died. Like, but I didn't want to say that while you were dying, because that kind of ruined the feeling, the roller coaster ride I was trying to put you on, effectively.
Well, you end up spoiling some of the ideas of like a sacrifice is only a sacrifice is a sacrifice because you thought it was a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like when TK sacrificed himself to in the fight against Charzagoth, like the inside Charzagoth, like he had a clone already, and he knew he had a clone, so he blew himself up to destroy like a big chunk of the demon. But that's not sacrifice. He just blew himself up knowing he was going into a clone body. He sacrificed treasure.
This campaign was really fun to play for me because it was this slow peeling of the onion of like something completely different than just you go through the dungeon and fight the big monster. Like the whole recycling of the plot lines and the time thing, and how there was a series in early on when you were kind of getting to the temple and you knew something was going on. It was like almost every game you were clawing at one secret, and it sort of unfolded over time. I was really
I think that the way the story was told in this, kind of similar to how the Grimstone Chronicles is sort of is laid out, lends itself to storytelling a little bit easier, especially in late levels. This didn't have the infinite branches of possibilities. Like it didn't have quite the same. But it's like this was a story that the story went broad and started narrow, ballooned out, and then sort of cocooned itself back in. So this was the shape of the story was kind of that.
Yeah, when you guys were like, "Oh, we're gonna do this and optimize this," I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be really hard to do." Like when you started healing Crusher, I'm like, "How am I gonna ever like defeat these guys?"
Well, you time stop and pop out some heals.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, how does this ever happen?
We have the spells. Like, Alkur had the technology. Without the Ounce of Purity, we could have, using surgery and regenerate spells, cured you of the fungus, now that it wasn't a godlike fungus, because I could cut your head off. And you
exactly. And if I wasn't, what I told the guys was, tonight it's ending tonight. And then Mark's joke at the beginning was like, "Oh, we're gonna go on a bunch of side quests." I'm like, no, there will be the end, and the end of campaigns are hard because I want them to optimize. Like, had we had other games planned after this, yeah, I shouldn't have been giving Crusher the hey, I didn't fail my save, why am I getting fucked over? You know, that was purely story. That was purely to try to like force, it was almost like to force the scene that Shadow had foreseen, the god thing inside the thing had foreseen. Like that's a bit like I was stealing a little bit of agency from the characters to have the storybook ending, but I did ask the players several times in the last month, are you guys okay with a storybook ending? Or do you want an ending that is totally based off of your actions in game? Like there's a line, right? And I said, I want to do slightly a bit of a more storybook ending. They're like, okay. They're like, well, do we automatically win? I'm like, no, if you die, your character doesn't get the storybook ending if they die. If I use one or Zuggtmoy one, it'd be like, yeah, there's no like triple Alkur off into the plains doing fun stuff in your mind. Nope, he's dead. So yeah, their reward was the storybook ending. Now some of them suck, but some of them like are awesome. Like Oscar going mad in a little tin can, I think it's fucking hilarious. I don't know if Adam thinks it's fucking hilarious, but it's fucking hilarious to me.
The little crab?
Yeah, he went into the coalition apparatus, and he's going mad in the little crab as he's just being pulled along through space from the.
So Oscar, Oscar went in the crab, and he had this escape plan because he created this escape plan in the past and told it to him in the future to use this crab as an escape.
Yep.
Now Oscar can plane shift, but he doesn't have a rod, so he can plane shift. If you go, so
I think
Incidentally, now that we are officially winners, Pepsi, if you would like to sponsor our program, I can assure you a great deal
Fucking
of product.
stupid. I prefer Pepsi Max, but yeah, sure. Oh, funny. Oh, you guys are talking about Mark's PC ideas. Yeah, so there are some powerful races at play, like a fawn, a pixie. The half golem template is worth 2 levels. Warforged or a twink class or race to start off with.
Oh, and a one-legged kobold.
Kobolds are on the world, yep.
you can have kobold and taking a leg off, sure, you get extra feet.
Nice. Yeah. So I'm really pleased with how this campaign went. Like, this is like a little notch in the DM belt kind of thing. Like, yep, this is all good. This is good. Of course, this is much longer than the 3 games I promised.
Yeah.
Let's finish the campaign in a weekend. I'm like, oh yeah.
15 games later.
So one of the things that we learned, because I think I'd like to still critique the system.
Mm-hmm.
They did scale damage kind of well appropriately. It all kind of went up. Like the spells and stuff were effective at high levels, and they felt more effective. Like magic felt stronger the higher the level you got. Like the spells themselves felt like you did more of a thing, which is good.
But you weren't using the what are they called? Those low-level spells that much.
Well, I wasn't, because I had 3 casting classes, so I could every round I could have cast a 9th or 10th circle spell and not run out of 9th or 10th circle spells. In the 12-round combat, I have 15 9th and 10th circle, more than 15 9th and 10th circle spells. So that worked pretty well. Casters, the way they're set up, their DCs are really behind, so their attacks and DCs are actually a problem. The thing is, at 20th is when they get their legendary casting, and that's where things start to even out.
But when they're not evening out till your last level,
that's a problem. So I think they have to bump that down a little bit, or do something, or provide items that provide item bonuses.
Yeah, I found that magic was really nerfed from the perspective of buffing. Magic was very nerfed in the perspective of maneuverability. Like, there was no more teleport gank. There was no more... It was like anything that shifted the party focus or an individual... Like, if there was a chance that a spell caused, like, a lone play, they got rid of it. And it became very localized and very constrained. So I felt a little bit underwhelmed at time with Ptolemy. Ptolemy was the perfect NPC in my mind because a lot of his magic was helping. And some of it was save, or like a few times when he actually tried to attack with spells, I was like, oh, they made their save. It really doesn't do anything. You know, like that would have felt like shit kind of thing.
The item choices, I think, hands down, the most powerful... Like, if you're going to make the most powerful thing in the game, I think it is a ranger with a bow.
The ranger was better than a bard. He was like, attack him, and all of a sudden their warriors were being Shadow was a monster in combat.
Right, and it's further buffed by the fact that they had items in the game that help attack, like ranged attack bonuses. Like, how big was the ranged attack bonus? +3, +4?
From the bow was +3, and then the potion.
What was the potion?
The alchemist. 4.
So there's a +4. So nowhere else in the game can you get a +4 bonus to hit. Like, the bard can give you at most a +3 to hit. There's a potion that gives only ranged attacks a +4 to hit. So it's like there's a
you twinked out having I realized the problem with having the alchemist in the wings that just sort of like, hey, there we go, here's all your potions, guys. So like that problem's still a thing.
Yeah, well, it's just that they don't have. There's no melee version of that.
Yeah.
Right. So it only affects like even it's not a dex thing. It's a melee thing. I like the.
But Shadow's Hunter calls were like really powerful.
Oh, extremely powerful.
Mm-hmm.
The Hunter calls are extremely powerful, and the again better than the Bard, and the and I did build up the Bard. Like I had the Bard up to like 16th level, and the the bonuses from the Ranger are far superior.
Well, it was the I can make him flat-footed, then I can give you a bonus, and then your next hits are always just -1 instead of.
Right, but you could also have a much higher chance to hit, and way more like a higher chance to crit.
Remember when you thought was Lareth the Beautiful was absolutely insane?
Yes.
Yes.
That was a fun. There was like a 2-hour place of him just chatting with you, and you guys are going like, "We can't listen to this madman. This is complete and utter madness."
He's crazy. But what if he tells us sports scores?
Right.
If he knows what's going to happen.
I think that the class that gives you the most, like, I can do a little bit of everything is a druid shape changer. Because they can get in fights, they can heal, and they've got magic. Like Malini wasn't made optimally. I just thought it was funny to have a tiny gnome punch out a giant once it turned into a rock.
Yeah, but Malini, a level behind, was able to for a couple games go and sit in the party and keep up.
Yes.
Like that's
and
how.
That's with one piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Equipment in this system is, for the most part, you need your weapon, you need your magic weapon, and it's probably a good idea to have your armor. One of the things you notice at the end of the game is only Crusher had the appropriate armor for what we were fighting. Nobody else did. We only had 1+3 armor in the game.
Yeah.
Darian's armor is pretty good. They might have been +2.
No, Darian and Kreiger both had +2.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was one of those at the end. It's like
well, you guys. There was some like constraints. I had to throw in the workshop out of time so we could blast through creation, and you made decisions. And okay, fine. Like it wasn't. You were at 95% power instead of 100% power.
The gear really doesn't do much. The crafting system in this, I can see what they're going for, but I hate having a cookbook.
Oh, I did the runes right up in basically we're taking Pathfinder 2E runes and bringing them into Pathfinder 1E, and on Volcanica is when we can try out the runes. So I did the rules, the conversion of it. Effectively, when you have a rune for a weapon, and it could be an enhancement bonus, a property, or a special property, it's a quarter of the cost.
The jumping thing. The jumping thing is so stupid.
At the end, everyone's like, this is how we move now. Hey, buddy. Let's go get him.
So they took away all the options for wizards.
We'll call that the belated Easter episode. As everyone's hopping around like a bunny. Or like Hulk. One of them doing it. Like when the monk kind of grabbed it out, it's like, oh, cool. And the barbarian's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And then the rogue's like, I'm going to copy you. I'm like, oh, this is how... So it becomes the gauge. I'm like, how are they traveling? What do you mean? Are they walking really fast or are they jumping? Because if they're jumping, it means they're really high level. It's like, oh, this is so dumb.
It is, but it's like the fight before. It's like, do you blame me for taking it? Because the fight before, I spent the whole fight trying to get to the fight.
Yeah.
Because they could just jump.
How lucky was Oscar tonight when he just was outside of the exploding? The best moment tonight was the exploding Baelor imp that got sucked up by Ayuz or by Zuggtmoy and exploded. That was fucking awesome. That you can't script. It's like, how do you? I totally forgot about its little corpse lying there and the little. You're like, oh.
It's exactly like the Hulk. I know.
Yeah.
It's
The Hulk may travel that way, but not every superhero and his little superhero gang. It's like, oh, let's jump like the Hulk. Just destroying everything as they're hopping along.
The skill system is pretty poop. I don't enjoy the skill system.
No, neither did I.
The skill feats is an interesting idea, but it's
a lot of them were so underwhelming that it was like,
Yeah.
Well, there would be either underwhelming or like god tier, but you have to like plan out your god tier power for 16th level. You'll get your god tier power.
Or it felt like some of the stuff they jammed into skill stuff because we came from 1E and then 3rd edition was like the stuff you did with your skill anyways. It's like they took things that we almost took for granted and went, "Oh, look at us being slick with a skill system." So,
yeah,
and it made certain skills less desirable because it's like, well, why am I going to be a legend in nature when
there's no power for it?
There's no power for it. Whereas, like something like Intimidate's grossly powerful with what the
scared to death.
You can take. Scared to death, for God's sakes! Like, boom, they die.
This is not the last we've seen of Darian.
Yeah.
Darian, future Darian, I have no desire to play the game of 20th level, probably whatever mythic you guys got from tonight with your characters if we ever played them again. Like, but Darian in the past, oh, there's still a fertile minefield there.
Get here, right?
Or future Darian, where Darian is grumpy old dude with age penalties, and it's really about the children.
Oh, so
Darian, quest giver Darian.
Alkur's child, the Singularity, is a playable character for a future campaign.
Now, here's the thing. I think somebody else ends up having to play that character because I already called
Dibs on
the boy.
Yep.
Undwin.
Undwin, thank you.
That's right.
Undwin. I want to play the summoner, the arch summoner. The arch summoner is mine.
So it's like, how the fuck does Undwin know about the workshop out of time? And that's too far away. Like it's out of time. And
it's two different campaigns, sort of touching.
Well, they're all kind of touching.
They're all touching, but this is like inappropriately touching.
And then the twins. The twins are playable characters.
Yep.
Like they could be PCs or NPCs. So you've got
One's
3.
a bard or a sorcerer, the other one's tough.
You could easily stick in a bear creature and some of Kreiger's children into the mix. There's a party right there. The next gen.
Luger's child is my character. That's weird.
So yeah, I left a lot of dangling threads because I'm like, we'll have good feels when we tug on one of those threads later on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although it all.
Then who knows whose eyeball Shadow's eating in the past? Like
all of them.
Uker. Power.
Yeah, if she eats one of Uker's eyeballs, yeah, Uker might be missing an eyeball, but he'll be wearing a shadow codpiece.
Ahmed, so here's the deal, Ahmed. Because I gave your character like the death plot. If you wanted Shadow to appear in Legends Planar War, you'd have to maybe as a backup character, you'd have to rebuild him at the same levels that Uker and gang were at.
Only a 16th level Gestalt with 3 levels of Mythic? Is that what we're at? Something like that?
Yeah, so
how poopy is that?
So there's an idea, like keep it in your back pocket.
That'll be awesome for you to have a character that's out.
And that's the
period.
What's that?
He's going to time period.
What's that?
Well, you've gone back in time.
He's going to the same time period.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yes, that's what it would be.
Because somebody might be manipulating the hell, or there might be multiple things manipulating the hell out of time.
I like it.
Cool stuff. All right. What didn't we like about the campaign? About the system, I mean.
You can kind of tell what level character is just based on how hard, what their bonus to hit is, or what their perception is.
You know, and if they're like a class type character, like a class character, you know exactly.
Oh yeah.
If they're built properly. If they're built properly.
Yeah, if they're built properly.
Right.
Yeah.
And if they're not built properly, well, then they're that much easier to beat anyway.
Well, there's something goofy going on.
You know, for a lot of the NPCs, what I did was like, oh, there's a knight character. I would open up Darian's character sheet and then add or subtract a couple of points from like AC and stuff, and like that was my cheat to like run characters that were near your levels. And it was like, oh, it seemed to work, and you guys thought I knew what I was doing, you know.
Well, when we were feeding you numbers, or at least I was feeding you numbers. There's a priest. Oh, he should have a like 18 plus something.
Right. We all read the books at the same time, and
so that is unfortunate in the system. The system is still brutally punishing in terms of levels. Levels are the most important thing. Oh my god, levels are the most important thing.
It's not a lot.
Also, at high level, the fact that the way the system works is, if you don't know how to use something, you are fucking useless. There's a like the gun.
The gun? Yeah, it was like it's an exotic weapon.
Useless. There's just I knew.
Oscar still has the bullet.
Oscar still has the bullet. Oh, but I knew. Like it's like when everyone's like, shoot that guy. I can't shoot the guy. Nobody can shoot the guy. It's
guns in his head.
The system. We can't use it. I need to save it for.
Because there's no touch AC, right? You need to like You
need to actually hit the demon with it.
That's another thing I had a problem with was you're level to AC regardless. Like a guy is sleeping on the ground and you can't fucking hit him because you're a first level guy. Like what insanity is that?
It's not even that. You're a 12th level guy, but there's an 18th level guy taking a nap. You can't hit him. You can't. It's just you might as well go home.
Yeah, and what we're saying is like, oh, the damage and hit points kept up. Like there's a trade-off there, right? Like, yeah, in first E sometimes things explode because you hit them too hard.
Yep.
And they might be many levels above you, and if they're low level, that's fine. But that also is a symptom of being able to kill the thing that's sleeping that is many levels higher than you. Like I think 1E is more deadly, is what I saw. Unless it's a mismatch in
right. It's because if it's a mismatch in 1E, you can still fight your way out of a mismatch.
Yep.
In here,
you're done.
You don't.
Yeah,
they took away the tools.
Yeah, like you guys were like, oh shit, maybe we need like 5 levels ahead. Even at 20th level, you guys were like, oh fuck, I'm only hitting on a 19.
Well,
until you start stacking your powers and flanking and like cheering each other on and
flanking and stuff. But abusing the ranger.
Yes. Had we not without the ranger, that fight is lost. That fight was lost. I don't think we would have won.
Because the bonuses you were hitting by like 1s or 2s.
By 1s or 2s, and that was with you pinning it down, giving us flat-footed, and giving us +2s to hit.
So there was a few tricks in the tank still. So we had a few times ways to get a couple breathers in. Explicitly, like if we synced initiatives, Alkur could start wasting its actions using maze spells. He had ways to do damage. He had most of his spell lists still available, ways to start to do things. There's spells that cause it penalties to hit and stuff, but he needs to not have to cure you guys constantly to use those.
Yeah.
Mark, did we give you the reverse?
He doesn't have the link.
I don't have it. Just email it to me and I'll
do it. Let me does.
Oh, the companion 2-action thing? I don't like it.
Yeah,
the companion's being so useless.
Is it 01 or 0 at the end of your beginning?
0.
Wither, in this system, as far as I could tell, summoning was always useless.
Yeah.
I couldn't see any value of summoning in this.
Companions summoning the 2 wolf statues. I never used them because I'm not going to spend around command.
Additionally, the stat system, I don't.
You should have an invite in your email.
Would have a different array of stats at 20th level than Alkur's, unless he wanted to punch things harder, and then he would have a little bit less charisma and a little bit more strength. There's no The
It's
stat
not,
blocks are going to be all identical.
the growth for the characters was not very diverse. It wasn't diverse enough.
Yeah, I had the complaint about like even feats for barbarians is like there was a couple levels like I had to go back because I didn't qualify for like
Level.
either of the 18th or 20th level feats.
No.
When I initially started building this, like looking at these characters, I looked at what I wanted at the end, and I worked backwards.
Yeah, that would have been helpful. I would have.
Because I started building, I'm like, well,
But at the same time, like when I built the characters, Marty was like, "Well, it's gonna be 3 games." I'm like, oh, "Okay."
when Marty said that, I created my characters from 20th level. Like, worked backwards.
I don't believe.
Funny.
I believe him because I was there going, motherfucker, we're level 1. What are you doing?
See what I did? Yeah, no, it was it was fun, but growth was very limited. A lot of times I'd go in and like there's a lot of feats that I took. I think 14th and 16th were useless, and there were all other bunch of like 12th and 10th that I added instead of the higher ones because there's just
As a cat, one of the things about casters, the fact that the meta magic feats all took an action meant that meta magic became very, very difficult to use because most spells that you like high level spells what you're using, a lot of them are 3 actions, so you can't meta magic them, and because they're 3 actions, and you cannot use a haste action to use meta magic, and I think they should expand that extra action from haste to apply to utilizing things like meta magic, or they need to have not so many spells use 3 actions to cast. It's too you can't meta magic some of these spells, and you should be able to. I don't see why you shouldn't.
I like beer. Beer is good. Beer and belly.
yeah.
Beer needs to leave Belly now, apparently.
Tell Marty I gotta go. I'm getting pinged, so
You're getting the mail.
it's not good to get pinged.
Oh, I am also getting pinged.
Not in this household.
I'm getting pinged. I've got the hello. Where are you? What are you doing?
All right, guys, that was fucking awesome. I love the ending. It was Zuggtmoy.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining us for this campaign, and hope to see you at the next one.
I gotta run.
Yeah, offline we'll build Mark's character, and it's good hanging out with you guys. Good to have you guys here. We really enjoyed this one, and we will definitely keep this crazy gaming train going.
Let that endorphin rush just kind of go for a bit, being like, oh, endorphins. Oh, do the thing.
Oh, fucking spear! There were two characters flying through the multiverse through spears. One in
true. Yeah.
One in a spear.
That's the gods. Spears.
It's funny. Mark's like flying, holding on to the spear, and then he sees like what's her name, Baba Yaga, like this hammer chasing her. Like just spears off. That's fine.
Good. Glad you guys had fun. Those on the channel, hope you guys enjoy this as much as we do. Have a good night.
Yeah. Good night, guys. Awesome.